Okay, here we've got more Amstrad Action. To issue number 46, July 1989. Now it's £1.45 because costs go up or whatever. Whatever the usual excuses. Anyway, July 1989. Britain's leading magazine for the Amstrad CPC 464, 664, 6128. And revealed 7 big secrets of the CPC. Exposed the truth behind Forgotten Worlds and Stormlord. We know what's coming with that game. Unveiled the end of the road for Renegade. Confessed H.A.T.E tales. 6 immortality for 6 great games. Last, your best book guide. Uncovered what's really inside your CPC. Though I'm not sure opening it with a can opener is the best way of doing it. Well, it's still running. And get crucial, get gold. Vigilante. 994, New York. The police dare not patrol the streets. The army cannot control the city. Law and order no longer exists. When street gangs dominate a city, your last chance is vigilante. This time, it's war. Arcade Muscle, the ultimate collection in death and devastation. The supreme challenge of skill and determination that only champions of skill, strength, and stamina should ever consider. Road Blasters, Bionic Commando 943, Sidearms, and Street Fighter. Oh, they actually got Amstrad screenshot of Street Fighter by the looks of it. Looks about right. Oh, and Road Blasters even. Squeak! Manic action, compulsive fun as hyperactive Squeak sweeps through the 99 contingents of his mother planet, decontaminating them on his way. Squeak is fun. Squeak is action. Squeak will last forever. Forgotten Worlds. 2 cool dudes, 1 hot situation, 8 megalithic adversaries. It adds up to a whole lot of trouble. The game Summer Collection. Body coordination, muscle power, and speed. Exhaust your limbs on the wildest events ever compiled for human competition. He's the meanest son of a snake you've ever seen. He's the HKM. From Holland to Spain, from Germany to Palestine. No matter the odds, no matter the scene. He's tough, he's mean, he's a human killing machine. US Gold, the Streetwiser's Guide to Essential Equipment. Screenshots from various formats. Got the lineup. Amscene, hot off the press, all the news that's fit to print. Reaction, outrageous, page after page of your outspoken, hard-hitting letters and your entirely reasonable replies. And the immortality segment, as per usual. Best of both worlds, another excellent hardware project in the company of that man Phil Craven. Hi there, hacker, I'm interested to know how you got here. Oh. Please contact Mark Haig Hutchinson. Which of his games they cracked into? H.A.T.E. Gremlin Starfighter School opens its doors. Stormlord. Chico is back, better than ever. Stormlord competition. Blag this absolutely spiffingly wonderful camera. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to enter, so one of you people must win. Oh god, this is actual Superman. Yeah, we get a Superman game in this issue. Renegade 3. The street fighting man goes out with a bang. Forgotten Worlds. US Gold's latest Capcom outing. The AA Good Book Guide. From beginners through to experts, we all need the helping hand of only a really excellent book can bring. Let Pat McDonald be your guide on this magical literary tour. And other things. Summer hots up. It's the oldest cliche in the computer world. Come summer, school holidays, and long, lazy evenings. No one wants to sit inside tapping away at a CPC keyboard. Oh yeah, already we're in July, when things are supposed to be slow and the living is easy. But the joint is still jumping. It must be said that there's little happening in the serious software releases department, but then, it's been true for a long time now, and it's unlikely to change. Games, however, are a different matter. We've squeezed in as many of the new releases into an action test. It's as large as we can reasonably make it. We do have to keep both games and series users happy as much as possible. Yet, we've still had to hold back a number of serious releases that really should be getting the AA treatment. In fact, we're just as busy as we were this time last year. There can be no doubt that the much vaunted renaissance of the CPC is more than a blip. We're doing better than ever. Oh, better than ever. AMC releases, updates, previews, new releases, updates, previews, new. Pandora opens up the chance for first-time programmers. Swift Software have released Pandora, a programming language designed to enable people with little experience to write games on the CPC. Designed around a bank of 48 sprites, each of which can move independently around the screen and wrap or bounce off the edges. Pandora includes scrolling commands and a sprite editor. Demos suggest that the language is capable of producing fast, smooth, attractive games with publishable standard. The manual, written in readable English, may for this reason be unique. Basic, but fast. Though Pandora is a form of BASIC, it runs much faster than normal and is an entirely different kettle of fish from your locomotive BASIC. The way it works is this. Your bid for Game of the Year is loaded into the computer as an ASCII file and then compiled to form a standalone machine code program. Even people who don't have a word processor to write ASCII with, are there such beings, are not forgotten. A simple editor program is included with the package. Deal on the cards. Robin Nixon, director of Swift and brother of 24-year-old Chris, who actually wrote the program, pledges a policy of continuous improvement. It's constantly evolving, with more features being added all the time, he told AA. We're hoping to get lots of suggestions from users of the program, he went on. And one of the things we add could well be an option to add your own machine code routines to customize Pandora for whatever kind of game you're writing. You don't even need to use sprites if you don't want them. We hope too that a distribution deal will be signed in the near future. Soon after that, it'll be available in the high street. There's a bonus too. Buy it before July 31st and receive a free calculator or watch. Ooh. Open the box and take the money. We're also on the lookout for games written with Pandora, Nixon went on. At the end of August, we'll go through them and stick the best ones on a compilation package at the usual rates of $9.95 and $14.95. And of course, the authors will earn royalty payments if their program is included. Ooh. Pandora costs $29.95 on disc and $24.95 on tape. Pandora arrived at the office too late to receive the detailed examination it will clearly require before we can offer our verdict. Look out next month for the definitive review. Heard it all before. So what? Most games creators take a degree to use. Are incredibly slow and produce naff games. Other programs which fulfilled similar functions have already appeared before. There was, for example, Laser Genius, written by much acclaimed Oasis Software and sold under the Leisure IQ label by Ocean. Panda Sprites, an early Oliver Twins success, sold and still available from Interceptor Micros. And Shape and Sound, an abortive attempt by Amsoft that apparently never appeared in any quantity. All have sunk into obscurity. Pandora, however, is rather more than these simple sets of extensions to a locomotive BASIC. It's a language in itself. It is faster, and games written with it are more compact because they are tokenized before being compiled. There's every possibility that Swift could make quite a splash. And who knows, perhaps we'll see a good few arcade successes written with it. Certainly it's a good way to get started for people whose desire to get games published is not matched with knowledge of machine code. Swift have had the wit to announce the competitive element along with the release of Pandora, so get cracking, and who knows, we could soon be reviewing your game in Amstrad Action. Your demo game. Pandora left code, right, a simple demo game. Budget war hots up as Ocean joined the fray. Wars breaking out down at the budget end of the software market, with the long-expected arrival of Ocean and major initiatives from, from Roger Hulley's alternative outfit. Ocean have put the cat among the pigeons by announcing a new hit squad label. Rambo, Daley Thompson, and Enduro Racer are the first to be reissued. They're aimed at the younger purchasers, with releases timed to coincide with the half-term school holidays. Ocean plan to release 3 budget games a month, each batch comprised of a sports, film, and arcade theme. Next batch are Yeah Kung Fu, Miami Vice, and Green Beret. Themes are to be coded to encourage continuous buying at the rate of 1 game a month to ensure that the set is collected. Further incentives may be added later, such as special collector's racks for sets of 1 game theme. Even non-Ocean releases could find their way into the label, as Manchester-based giants have set about acquiring other houses' software for compilations. Barbarian or Crazy Cars could be on the shelves again, this time at the now firmly established $2.99 budget price. A drop in the ocean. It has been agreed, however, that none of the software from non-Ocean sources will hit the streets in budget format until 2 years after the full price debut. This puts Ocean at a disadvantage, for Kicks, US Gold's budget arm, are releasing games of Cybernoid quality just over a year after the initial launch, reviewed AA32, May 1988. This was a Houston original, and has already been on Gremlin's Space Ace compilation. It seems likely that market forces will eventually force a much quicker budget appearance. This activity comes at a time when other software houses are pushing budget software harder. Alternative and sister label Summit have reaffirmed a commitment to the $1.99 and $2.99 market by bidding for games written by Dynamic and Martech, announcing their intention to release Army Moves and Game Over, ironically released at full price by Ocean. Alternative boss Roger Hulley is keenly laying claim to be the first budget software company to sell former Ocean full-price titles at budget price. Hulley optimistic. Hulley has such faith in the future of the budget market that he's just launched yet another label, this time optimistically entitled Winners. First from the new stable is War, a scrolling shoot-'em-up, would you believe. Hulley is keen to point out that in terms of games sold in the UK open market, Alternative were at number 1 more often than anyone else. This dominance of lower price range sales, Hulley claims, is set to continue. This year he promises we shall continue to dominate the market. Kicks are currently enjoying the good life too. For the week ending 29/4/89, 720 topped the budget charts, and total sales were almost double Alternatives. Indeed, they were only 2% behind budget software's most prolific producers, Codemasters. Alternatives, Roger Hulley, confident. I guess that's what he looks like. The ultimate in joysticks. If you stop to consider it, joysticks are like toothbrushes. Well, they are in one sense anyway. Some poor marketing person has the job of convincing potential customers that this new stick/brush is, despite all the evidence to the contrary, exciting, revolutionary, and well worth throwing away your current model for. Most of the time, of course, this is just nonsense. Just occasionally, however, a joystick is produced that is so bizarrely over-equipped that you just can't ignore it. DeGale Marketing's QuickJoy 5 Superboard is one such item. It's a Rolls Royce among joysticks, commented a DeGale spokesperson, just to see if any RR lawyers were reading AA. It has no less than 6 fire buttons, an autofire with speed control, and an impressive 10 micro switches, giving the game's player position control. I'm sure all those 6 buttons all do the same thing. But that's not all, is it? We prompted. No, indeed. The Superboard also comes with a built-in digital stopwatch with LCD display. Why? Oh, many reasons. For example, timing the paths of aliens, or to enable a player to measure how fast he or she, of course, is improving in multi-level games. Furthermore, in 2-player games, the stopwatch adds an extra level of competition, while other games have a time limit. In any case, so that the stopwatch will be invaluable. And of course, it can also be used as a form of watch. Whilst playing extremely addictive games, it is possible to lose all track of time, and so the Superboard joystick may stop many computer game players from being late. Quite. And judging by the publicity pictures issued with the QuickJoy 5 Superboard, It can probably perform a pretty credible reverse somersault with 2.5 forward twists, which is more than you can say for a toothbrush. The alleged Rolls Royce of joysticks costs £19.95 from DeGale Marketing, who are at this very moment sitting by their phones nervously awaiting for your call. P.S. to DeGale Marketing. Pat McDonald, who invented the joystick for watch featured on the cover of AA33, is eagerly awaiting the first payments of his royalties. Here's a high quality photo of the joystick. Software sales starts. Fanzine The Bug, which somehow survived half the decade without ever quite being sued, is closing down. The various rapidly aging contributors and hackers are getting themselves into a right tizzy about exams and then hope to head off to university and a life of debauchery and staying up late. As a result, there's a whole heap of software for sale, a large proportion. Oh yeah, how much is that exactly? Of the proceeds are going to charity. Write for a list of what's available to, well, it is for charity. Enclose an SAE or you'll never hear from them again. There's a Batman on the cover. Ooh. The Bug software sale starts soon. Buy now, save pounds. Multimedia launch for Lone Wolf. Hot on the heels of Audiogenics, Fabo Soccer Sim Emlyn Crazy Horse Hughes is a Lone Wolf. No, Lone Wolf isn't a rogue midfielder, but a warrior of ancient times cursed to live out his life in appalling fighting fantasy-style books. Tired of turning to page 73 only to find himself ripped asunder by orcs, the Lone Wolf has escaped and is now poised to assault the senses in a three media launch. A novelisation of his adventures, an interactive phone line, and a CPC adventure-type arcade game. On the old dog and bone, your aim is to guide him through a castle and emerge alive, until that is your parents receive the phone bill. While the books are codification of the adventure game novels. The computer game, however, is a completely new story, with old Wolfie chops reflecting, get it, upon the mirror of death. It is a barbarian-esque mix of magic and hacking in which our hero searches a wizard's tower for lore stones. He can choose special Kai abilities to aid him in his quest, including a power to call a wolf to him to give him a helping paw in sticky situations. Previous outings by Joe Dever, didn't he do Annie's song? Have proved inexplicably popular, and it remains to be seen whether his medieval manowar can cut it on the CPC. At least we'll be spared Dever's excruciating mishmash of Gothic and Old World prose, the principal devices of which appear to be inventing names with 4 vowels and no consonants, and into a strange word order sentence puttings. Are we in for a treat? You. As it ends. Pat delivers. The man in the hat is back, and this time he's brought his cat. Yes, the world's most annoyingly nice person is all set to make his screen debut. Star of TV and stage, Postman Pat is finally ready for the CPC. We are eagerly awaiting, speak for yourself, Ed, the delivery of the ultimate challenge, actually getting it in one piece through the mail, that is. How do you make a Maltese cross? For Messrs. Cruz and Newman would be hard pushed to see the colour of money, or colour, as they insist on calling it, if they were to play 3D pool, latest release from Firebird. You get to play in a tournament against the world's greatest, Fast Freddy, Mighty Mike, and even Maltese Joe, real-life European pool champ. The action takes place in some seedy dive, get it, over a realistic pool table, around which you can move up, down, in and out in any which way you choose. Once you've picked up the hang of playing without a cue, you can control the pace, spin and swerve of the cue ball. Fortunately, there's also a practice and tutorial facility to allow you to learn some trick shots of your own. 3D Pool gets a full AA treatment next month, and the way to make Maltese cross, of course, is to beat him at pool. Oh. Red LED team signed by Microsoft. If If the Taglione James team have anything to do with it, adventures will never be the same again. The team who brought us Red LED, AA27, 92%, have been signed to Microsoft and are currently having sleepless nights over their new project for CPC Bloodwitch. An adventure with a difference. Bloodwitch features a split screen allowing two players to play, either together or against each other. The plot, which hardly sounds revolutionary, involves the search for 4 parts of a jewel. Yawn. This jewel, when assembled, allows the player to destroy evil forever, or if you've had a hard day at the office, banish good from the face of the earth. Of course, you've got to beat the other guy to the gems first. That price rise. AA has gone up in price by 20p. The increase, the first for 2 years, is due to escalating production costs. A more detailed explanation is contained in a response to a letter in this month's reaction. See page 11. Eagle-eyed readers will notice, however, that the cost of a subscription has not yet been amended, though it won't be long before the AA accountant gets his finger out and puts his foot down with a firm hand. Turn to page 26 and take advantage of this unusual oversight. The only other time the AA account is so slow off the mark is when it comes to paying out wages. Well, unbeatable prices, unbeatable service again. His reaction, letters of protest, letters of praise, letters that leave Steve with his head in a daze. Dear readers, once again the Ed rips open your latest missives on Sweater's CPC. Remember too that there's a £15 software voucher for one lucky winner every month. So get scribbling or printing to reaction. But no essays, please. We really and truly are too busy to reply personally to correspondence. That price rise again. So yeah, going to raise the price of AA by 20p, making it £1.45. I would like to know what we are going to receive for our money. Colour photographs? More pages? After almost 4 years of magazines, I know I've seen all of them. Yours drops from excellent to fair. Why? Well, for some reason, the price is getting bigger and the magazine is getting thinner, page by page. 75 pages with 22 pages of adverts. Yes, I know it's nice to see ads so we can buy stuff, but maybe if you increase the pages read by 22, we'll get a magazine and not a booklet. You may think I'm pretty old for the next thing I'm going to say, right? But why don't you get Ollie Alderton to draw like the old Amtics? They were pretty brill drawings. Or can you only draw stuff like Roy of the Rovers? Now that's what I call childish. Okay, it's a pretty good picture, but 22-year-olds and older don't like to be walking around with a comic. A comic, you scream? Yes. Pictures in the thinness of your magazine make it look like a comic. So we roll it up, embarrassed that someone might think it's a comic. Then, when it's rolled up, stuffed down our jackets or whatever, people who see us think we just bought a sex mag. Even more embarrassing. We should, however, be wearing our mag with pride and thrusting it into someone's face and smiling at the same time. Please print this, not so that you'll lose readers, but so that you don't end up like competing with the Amstrad computer user, and finally Amtix. You need to be at the top. And unfortunately, in my eyes, and probably other people's too, you're not. Carl Harrison, Hingard, Mid-Glamorgan. Well, Carl, what can I say? Yes, we have put the price up for the first time in 2 years, during which time inflation and escalating production costs have taken their toll. We don't like having a more expensive AA any more than you do, but if it's any consolation, I can assure you that we're not getting a pay rise on the strength of it. Inflation alone over the past couple of years must total something like 15%, so an increase of just 20p doesn't seem too unjust to me. And remember that AA was £1 way back when it started almost 4 years ago, when you could fill a car with petrol, buy 20 cigarettes, a newspaper and a small holding in Wales, and still have change for a half crown. AA this month is 82 pages big, which is the same size as we were over a year ago, March 87, and indeed is 16 pages bigger than last September. Still, it must be admitted that summer issues do traditionally shrink a little. The reason is that most games are timed for release in winter, and particularly at Christmas. Therefore, there are fewer games out and fewer pages of games and advertising. Incidentally, I should make it clear that advertising in magazines, not just AA, and not even just computer mags, but all magazines, keep prices down to a great extent. Without them, this mag would cost £4.95. As for Amstrad Action resembling a comic, I can only say, so what? You must enjoy reading it, or you wouldn't be daft to buy it. Or you would be daft to buy it. And if you do, why should you give a monkey's what anyone else thinks? I doubt that anyone is going to laugh at you for reading it, though they may be amused that you are ashamed to be discovered doing so. Finally, thanks for the warning, but AA remains the only CPC mag in Britain that's independent and hasn't merged with any other one. And that's the way it's going to stay. Law Somniacs. Oh, I read Trenton Webb's review of Yes Chancellor, AA43, with interest and enjoyment. The main points are that he seems to have enjoyed playing it and it made him think about the problems of running a national economy. That is all a simple macroeconomic model can do. Maybe it is all any model can do. After all, Nigel Lawson has access to one of the most sophisticated economic models around, the Treasury model. He's having his problems, but is he enjoying them? Tom Tweed, author of Yes Chancellor, Guildford, Surrey. Quite. The great thing about Yes Chancellor, of course, is that you can inflict your pet theories on the country without putting 3 million people out of work and then finding the theories are nonsense anyway. Mr. Lawson hating every minute. Arg type. I thought I'd write to Amstrad Action to see if any of your readers had experienced similar problems as I have with the disk version of R-Type. Firstly, not a problem really, just a gripe. The instruction book makes no mention of the Amstrad in its loading instructions or the keyboard joystick controls. Secondly, when I plug the joystick in and load this disk, the game crashes. Without the joystick, the game loads okay. Thirdly, once the game is loaded and I plug the joystick back in, the fire button doesn't work. I know the joystick is okay because it works with all my other games. So, is there any way of using a joystick with this game, or have I been sold a duff program? P. Crompton, Manchester. P.S. My computer's a 6128, the joystick is a Cheetah Plus 125. We didn't have any trouble playing R-Type, though we have to say we went crazy about the game, and reckon it's more likely to be a problem with your joystick. We agree that this business of producing cross-format manuals and then ignoring the CPC is a bit of an insult. Bad form if you ask me. Does it work with other games okay? If you have the auto fire button switched on, can have odd effects. Try switching it to the other position. If that doesn't work, you could try taking in your joystick and your copy of R-Type to a computer shop. Go when they're likely to be quiet, a weekday afternoon for example, rather than a Saturday morning. Tell them AA sent you and we'll mention their name if they help you out. What? More football? Here's a follow-up to last month's football feature. Here's a special report. The scene, an important semi-final clash. Spurs versus Nottingham Forest. It was the match day. Brian Clough's football fortunes seemed to be changing. The victory road looked clear, as it seemed to be history in the making. Outrun the teams. Straight away, an attacker put on a super sprint, but is caught by a savage tackle. It is a sending off, giving the team a serious anti-cap. It looks like to be an impossible mission. Suddenly, there is a total eclipse, and the game has to be called off. It was a great escape for Forrest. Kevin A.A. Conchar. Dumfries. Externary, as D. Coleman might say. Absolutely externary. Any other similarly daft contributions? A tenner for the best. Or should they be the worst? A rave about ratings. The ratings you give games are really getting to me. You have 4 factors: graphics, sonics, grab factor, and staying power. I presume that the final rating should be the average of these 4 factors, and that in compilations, the rating should be the average ratings of the individual games. But this is not so. If this were the case, Arcade Muscle should have been rated 60%, not 37%. In-Crowd should have been 72%, not 88%, and SDI should have gotten 73%, not 82%. I could go on because they are all rated incorrectly if you go by the law of averages. If you use some other method, please tell me. Paul Johnson, Dumbrick, Glasgow. The fact that none of our final ratings come out as the average of the 4 factors, Paul, should have given you something of a clue. No, we don't use averages. If you think about it, you'll see why. Imagine a game that has great graphics, grab factor, and staying power, and gets 90% for each, and then it doesn't have any sound and gets 0% for Sonics. Should it really get an average of, let's add it up, divided by, that's 72%? Or take another example, a game that's well worth full price, scoring between 60 and 85% on different factors, but it's a budget game and only costs £2.99. Would be inclined to bump the final scores somewhat to reflect the fact that at its price it's excellent value. That's what we did with the compilations you refer to. Arcade Muscle costs £13 on tape and has 5 games, none of which were raves or master games, while the in-crowd costs £15 and has 8 games, of which 3 were raves and 1 was a master game. So we exaggerated the difference to show what we thought. According to your logic, if one compilation costing £18 features 2 average games that score 67%, you get a final rating of 67%, while another that costs £10 and has 12 games, 8 of which are absolutely brilliant and score 95%, and 4 of which are real dogs and score 10%, so you get a total of 66%. Now, is that fair? It's a mistake to think that reviewing is a science. It's an art, and Trenton is a real artist. Games rating is hardly an exact science, and we prefer justice to strict accuracy. Ooh. Numbers up. Why do you print only phone numbers in your buyer's guide? Not everyone has a phone, you know. Carl Wilson, Kenilworth. Fair point, Carl, but the buyer's guide is light on space as it is. If we were to put up to 4 pages, people like James Howless, whose letter is printed above, would complain like the man nearly said, you can please some of the people all of the time and all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. Sugarman is on holiday, unfortunately. Oh, what a shame. Broadly speaking, sticking her neck right out, Emma broadly asks the questions most people don't even dare to think. It's a shame. No Sugarman. Why, can't the software industry, with 1 or 2 notable exceptions, take a pride in its work? Many games produced are not what they could be. They simply don't use the CPC's capabilities to the full. Take games in either Mode 0 or Mode 1. The CPC has the capabilities to handle colourful, detailed and well-animated sprites, as shown by games such as Barbarian, loved by gameplay darlings, hated the advert. In general, it takes no more memory or loss of speed to print such sprites, yet so many companies do not feel that this is worth spending some time over. The graphics of the game. Instead, they continue to churn out the same old monochromatic rubbish. Sounds boring. The CBC has excellent musical capabilities, as anyone who's heard such masterpieces as Rob Baxter's transcriptions will know. Yet software houses are only beginning to include tunes with their games, but still the sound effects with most games are rubbish. I must add that they are difficult to get right, but so little time is spent on them. Some games don't have any, which is a complete disgrace in my book. I'm not saying that good sound and graphics make a great game, they don't. Some good games don't have such effects. But these games would be considerably enhanced in the addition. The buyer would be more impressed and feel that he has better value for money. Raf Checo is one example of a programmer who cares. You only have to look at Cybernoid 2 to see that, and from the previews we've seen of Stormlord, reviewed in this month's action test head, Mr. Checo appears to be going from strength to strength. And look at the reception his games have received, and the interest over what he is going to come up with next. It is not only his excellent gameplay, graphics, and music which make his games, but also all the little added touches such as on the title screen and demo on Equinox, a game you may remember from days gone by. If it don't fit, force it. But how can all this be squeezed into 42K, I hear you ask? It can't. More and more tape games are resorting to tedious multi-loads to increase the memory available. The disc versions are, in general, exactly the same as the tape. But what about 128K disc-only games? Multi-load, no problem with plenty of memory. Just think what could be done. This should be acceptable because according to the last AA Reader survey, 2/3 of Amstrad owners have disk drives, and almost 60% have 128 or more K. Cut down tape versions would still be available for those without. But alas, disk versions are exact copies of the tape version. They shouldn't be. Even the Spectrum has 120K versions of many games. Take the classic Game Elite. The disk version is almost exactly the same as the tape. So we poor Amstrad owners are left with a game which is infinitely inferior to the BBC disk version. Yes, the BBC, the computer with less than 32K of RAM available and only a 100K disk drive. Acornsoft, by using the BBC's facilities to the full, produced a game in 1984 with fast, smooth 3D animation and fantastic gameplay. At a time when we were still being treated with such drivel as Roland on the Ropes. I liked Roland on the Ropes, Ed. Think what Telecomsoft could have done with a faster processor, more memory, and bigger disk drive, more ships, more missions, faster animation, etc. 3-inch wonder. Even Incentive's brilliant Freescape games could be improved by using 128K and a disk drive. Decent sound effects, larger playing areas, and perhaps, if possible, faster graphics. So when will software companies wake up to the fact that they have such a brilliant machine at their disposal? I'm sure more disk drive owners would buy disk games instead of multi-facing from tape if they knew they would get a considerably souped up version. So come on, software companies, get to work. Yeah, get to work. The in-crowd for all these games. And Karnov even. How to have your cake and eat it. If you have either a DK-Tronics memory expansion or a silicon disk, then you may wonder if you'd been better off getting the other. On the other hand, if you're thinking of buying one, no doubt you're wondering which would be the best. Now, Phil Craven shows you how you can have both. 664 owners, this is your box. 608, this one's for you. Kind of basic diagrams, really. Thanks for the memory. These modifications work on both 64K and 256K versions. The S-Disk ROM does not need to be removed when the memory function is selected. Just out of interest, 512K memory can be obtained by connecting two 256K units to the computer. One should be configured as memory and the other as a silicon disk. Here's our book special. Oops, missed some. We don't claim to be infallible here at AA. If you've read a really useful book and it doesn't appear in the following book guide, why not write in and tell us about it? You tell us, and we'll tell the world that you told us, including the name, author, publisher, price, and if possible, the ISBN. Send them into Pat McDonald as a nana. Amstrad Action. Okay. Fun school too. Learning has never been such fun. Oh. Okay. And all the systems apparently. Spectrum, Commodore 64, Amstrad CPC, BBC Micro, BBC B Plus Master, Atari ST, Amiga, PC, both 3.5-inch and 5.25-inch disc. Ooh. Tomes of Law. More books than you can shake a library ticket at in the capable company of Pat McDonald. An introduction to CP/M on Amstrad computers. Advanced Amstrad User's Guide. Music and sound on your Amstrad. Powerful programming for Amstrad Supercharge your 464, 664, 6128. Assembly language programming for the Amstrad CPC 464, 664, and 6128. CPM Plus Handbook. The Man Who Can. Most books reviewed here are hard to track down through a small bookshop, though any title in print can be ordered if the full title, author, publisher, and international standard book number are known. The exceptions are Melbourne House Publishers Limited. The software side of the company was sold to Mastertronic, and the publishing side no longer exists. If a book is out of print, do not despair. Write to the out-of-print book service with details of the book you want, enclosing an S.A.E. If they come up with the goods, they inform you and quote a price. The minimum handling fee is £5, so the method is hardly cheap, but if you decide you don't want the book, you didn't buy it. Okay. Amstrad Book 1, Starting Basic. Amstrad Book 2, Sound, Graphics and Data Handling. The Amstrad Disc Companion. The Amazing Amstrad Omnibus. The Amstrad Disc Companion. Yeah, that's what it looks like even. Some dude holding a disc. Learning to program in C. Amstrad and Artificial Intelligence. So, yeah, they're still offering that on the back of the magazine. Using DR logo on the Amstrad. Games and graphics programming on the Amstrad CPC 464, 664, and 6128. Make Space Invaders empty chess pieces. Snap it up. So what, you already got a camera, but it's not a camera like this one. It's not every month Raf Chico brings out a new game, and Houston and ourselves certainly thought Stormlord was cause for celebration. Read the full review of Stormlord on page 42 of this issue. So we got together, broke open our favourite piggy bank, and came up with this little item, which we're quite sure will be worth 5 minutes of your time to enter. One condition though, said the people at Houston, you've got to make the competition easy so everyone gets a chance to enter, okay? Now, we had to admit we weren't convinced about this. After all, we thought if we were giving away a camera as neat as this, we should make them work a little for it. But in the end, we agreed. Here it is, in the easiest competition in the history of the universe. The prizes. The winner of the AA Houston Stormlord competition receives a superb, top-of-the-range Canon EOS 750 with built-in flash. He or she will also win a copy of Stormlord. No less than 25 runners-up will win a copy of Stormlord, as well as a special limited edition poster of the game. Rules. Employers of Future Publishing, Houston or Canon UK, or their families, and I can't read the rest of this. Entry by Monday, 31st of July, 1989. How to enter. Simply answer the following ever so easy question on a postcard or the back of an envelope and send it to Stormlord Competition, Amstrad Action, to arrive by Monday, 31st of July, 1989. State on your entry whether you would like a cassette or disc version of Stormlord. The question. All you have to do is say which of the following games were written by Raphael Chico. Exelon, Equinox, Cybernoid 1, Crazy Cars 2, Cybernoid 2, Netherworld. Hint? There's 4 of them would be right. Navy moves. Your mission, destroy the U-5544 nuclear submarine. To accomplish this, you have to master all types of oceanic warfare. On the surface, piloting your pneumatic launch and fighting against the enemy commandos on the aquajets. Beneath the waves, where you'll use a harpoon and with explosive arrows to make your way through the shark-infested waters. In the depths of the sea, inside a bathoscope loaded with missiles, fighting against bloodthirsty octopi in a giant sea monster. Inside the atomic submarine, sustaining man-to-man combat against the crew. Your flamethrower rifle will be a great help, but you will also need to be an expert what? Hacker? Oh, hacker. In quotes, apparently. Manipulating the submarine's computers. Navy Moves includes a dossier for the commando and a complete map of the submarine. Spectrum Amstrad Commodore 64, $9.95. Amiga PC and compatibles $24.99, Atari ST $19.95. Dynamic, distributed by Electronic Arts. For a change. The Alternative Bank Manager. David Holmes helps you get more of the 6128 64K extra RAM. So that is your memory map. The Alternative Bank Manager. Money rules. The Alternative Bank. The bank likes to say off. For a free copy of the full assembly listing, write to Bank Manager listing. However, you must enclose a decent sized SAE. What do you mean by decent sized? 12 action-packed issues are guaranteed. If you're not completely satisfied, we will refund the cost of unmailed copies. You can't say fairer than that. Still £16.50. Yeah, hurry up before they change their price again. Crazy Joe's. Airborne Ranger with a U. Hey, small ads. Sell off their discs. Maxwell blank 3-inch discs, 100% error free. Box of 5, £11. Box of 10, £20. Yeah, the discs be expensive. This is your last chance to buy a superlative Poke Easy Plus Plus. Poke Easy Plus Plus. Okay? Poke Easy Plus Plus achieves a high standard of actually finding pokes for games. It includes a facility for finding them on disc as well as on tape. And there's also a level change facility, far easier to use than a conventional disassembler. And after a while it becomes second nature. Poke Easy Plus Plus is more reliable than most. Great introduction to hacking. Super price. Terrific manual. Amstrad Action, February 89, page 27. Poke Easy Plus Plus is the ultimate game hacking utility from Galliper Software, the CPC utility specialists. £8.25 on cassette, £11.99 on disc. Superb 25% off our normal price to clear stock. Hurry, at this rate they'll all be gone. See, disk drive. Disk drives be expensive too. These Bonzos do, they're the best named utility ever. Forum. Here's your very own Pat McDonald. Welcome once more to Forum, where Pat does his level best to answer your questions and pass on your hot tips on all aspects of CPC computing. Power to the people. Why hasn't my Amstrad got a CBOS memory? I'm fed up with programming my latest mega utility. I need to have it snuffed out by the meter demanding more 50 pences. Could you please get one of your hardware genii to crack commandos to design a memory that doesn't go blank with no electricity for under £30 with a through connector? Liz Carter, St. Helens. You're not asking a lot, are you, Liz? Details RAM pack, which is just a plug-in effort, and doesn't try to replace the internal memory, costs £49.95. A more expensive CMOS memory unit with battery backup would almost certainly be more than £30. There's not really a lot of point to it. Supposing that you do have it and the power goes, what then? The processor and other internal chips are not CMOS, so all you would be left with would be a dead keyboard. When power returned to your computer would be reset automatically. What would be much more useful from your point of view would be a temporary power source capable of taking over automatically when the main supply goes down. I'm afraid that they cost a few £100 for even a cheap one. Perhaps more frequent saving could be the answer to this very common problem. Oh dear. All new Ghostbusters. I'm assuming they're referring to the real Ghostbusters, I guess. Look what I've found. I recently bought the game WEC Le Mans. I reset the computer when I had finished playing it and decided to play another game. However, I forgot to move the WEC Le Mans tape. Next thing I know, the computer was loading Amchange. I let it load, and when I noticed that the program was in French, so I couldn't understand it that well. It's starting to load Robocop, which is produced by Imagine, which also did WC Le Mans. I reset the computer again. Sure enough, on the end of the tape was Amchange. Is it on the end of all Imagine's recent releases? What does it do? Benjamin Hayes, Bradway. Having the foggiest been mystery here, readers. What I remember it is, I think it's a French download utility or something. You can, or service. You download it over a serial connection through a modem usually, or something like that. Probably only useful in France. This is what I think it was. I have no idea really. Nasty letter. Ha! So your vaunted listings are put out to a critical world, and what do you see? Bugs! Much publicised listing, the AA Sprite editor. We couldn't actually see what we were editing, and in the typewriter program, there was a mistake on line 110, which could have meant that 464 owners wouldn't have been able to use it. What have you got to say for yourself, Pat McD? Here are the correct corrections, by the way. Ivan, obviously made up name, Antarctica. Okay, I'll admit that the listings as printed were not as finely tuned or polished as they could have been. I'm sorry for that. On the other hand, at least they would have worked as printed. Thanks for the amendments. Also thank you, Jen Skinner who sent in a similar tip and enjoy spending the £15. £40 if you honour our offer. Ooh, what money. The look. Where to stick your sprites? Pat McDonald gives the orders. The gallery. Yeah, you saw our readers' artwork. Fancy yourself an artist and get cracking. Let us have our very best work, your very best work at the AA office, and you can earn yourself £20. Send entries to give her a short note telling us which art package you used, and an SAE if you want the pictures back, on disc or tape. To Pat McDonald's The Look, Amstrad Action. Unusual angle to draw a car. Nice one, Marcus Jones of Crediton. Two commendable efforts from the hand of Jay Shaw from Farnborough. Come on, guys, send in your look injuries, says Roger Rabbit, excellently depicted by Paul Fong of Liverpool. Oh, there he is. Our first repeat winner. Well done, rural resident James Garside. Main pick. Marcus Jones again with a delicate rendition of a portrait. Top. Roger Rabbit again, this time by Richard Heisman, who lives in Buntingford. Middle. Very good picture of the famous Dire Straits image. Credit goes to Peter Clark of Kane? Callan? I don't know. Bottom. Three fun picks here. The top one was drawn by Marcus Jones. Pac-Man comes courtesy of David Knight from Birmingham. And the monster at the bottom, my fave, was done by C. Pounder of Doncaster. Action test. Oh, it's time to get into the games. Finally. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, that's Trenton Reb, super reviewer. The master game, Stormlord, page 42. Forgotten Worlds Rediscovered, page 48. Renegade 3, The Final Conflict, page 44. Superman, Up, Up and Away, page 47. We've got a total of 8 games. Stormlord, Forgotten Worlds, Navy Moves, Renegade 3, Superman, Tank Attack, oh boy, and Sphinx Jinx, and H.A.T.E, of course, on this page. They mentioned Forgotten Worlds twice there. Anyway, get to the reviews. H.A.T.E, Gremlin 995 cassette, 1495 disc, joystick or keys. 339 years in the future, audio-visual training aids and military simulators have progressed a bit. Fighter pilots and tank commanders don't get experience from being strapped into obscure boxes with flickery screens to watch. They get sent to Strip World, an obstacle-filled planet that tests even the toughest. Hostile all-terrain encounter is a shoot-'em-up based around this simple scenario. Your mission starts off on a runway in Zone 1 with a starfighter sitting on the tarmac. The screen starts to scroll diagonally and it's laser time. After annihilating the alien defences on the first stage, you land automatically at a shorter airstrip where a ground assault vehicle is parked. This hovers at a constant distance above the ground, but has the added advantage of being able to lob shells over terrain. Then you swap transport again and hopefully progress through all 30 stages. Piece of cake, except on each stage are nuclear reactors. When destroyed, these leave a plasma cell for you to pick up and tow to the end of the stage. You need at least one to finish each level. Otherwise, you'll blown up at the last barrier and lose one of your 4 lives. Plasma cells, however, absorb one hit on your vehicle, destroying themselves in the process. Pitted against you are various simulated alien hazards. Mines, fighters, missiles, bolts and saucers, to name a few. These pop up out of sliding trapdoors and would be easy to zap if there were not quite so many of them. Because H.A.T.E is a simulator, losing your 4 lives doesn't automatically kill you. If you've managed to get past level 2, then you're sent back 2 stages. 2 scores are shown to reflect this, the best you've managed on the mission and your present score. Although 4 colours are used for the whole screen, just 2 appear in the playing area. All the ships and aliens are very well designed though, and are distinct from the background. Occasionally you get disorientated, unsure of what's in front of what. More colour would have prevented this. The scrolling is silky smooth, with no glitching on the playing area at all. One outstanding part of the game is the sound. Ben Daglish has done something really special with the music soundtrack. In fact, I suspect that the loudspeaker gets a little bit overloaded at times. The spot effects are boisterous too, and turning up the volume gets the neighbours complaining. H.A.T.E starts off easy, but you soon need some fancy stunts with your vehicles to keep progressing. Games can last a long time because of the send back feature, and it's possible to come back fighting from a losing position because excess plasma cells mean extra lives. The game is very engrossing for a shoot 'em up. The only problems are that it doesn't look particularly special for an 89 game, and if you get through all 30 levels, you probably won't want to play it again. Well, not much anyway. First day target score, stage 11, fighter pilot. 3D Man. Vortex Software have done similar games in the dim and distant past. Highway Encounter, Master Game AA2, Alien Highway, Rave AA9, all have been designed by Costa Panayi, a programmer of considerable worth. Let's hope his next effort isn't so long in coming. Second Opinion. It's simply too frustrating to get to level 6 or 7 and then be sent back to stage 2. I can stand the failure. It's the being destroyed on the finish line that gets me. Great tune spoiled by a frustrating game. Green screen, mostly okay. The Verdict, graphics 71%. Nice scrolling. Looks too plain. Sonic's 90%. Blast to the beat. Good effects. Grab factor 82%. Anarchy rules. Action really stops. Staying power 82%. Sendback rule keeps you playing. Not too difficult to complete. AA rating 81%. More please, Mr. Panay. Okay. Let's get ready. Let's play the game. Alright. Games. Hostile all-terrain encounter. Written by Costa Panay, music by Renegade, number 989 Vortex. Let's go. Edit. bullets now. Ah. Lost one. Um. Oh. Huh? Oh. Back to stage 3 we go. Got 3 lives for the execution this time at least. Oh. Oh boy. We could be here a while. Oh! Okay, we got the grenades. Get that. Up and fight it. Throw grenades. Oh jeez, ah! Oh. It means we get one life for the next stage. And then you get sent back or whatever. Oh. That didn't last long. Back to level 3! Back to level 3! One life. Oh! Oh, I missed it. Oh! Oh! No, I was not paying attention. Oh! Well, back to stage 2 now. Stage 2. So yeah, you could be playing this game for a while. I missed that one. That doesn't help. Hey, that's some dodging. Hold the button down. What the? Oh, where did that? Oh, no. Ow. It all went poorly. Ah! terrible. Get 1 life for stage 5. And I crashed right into it because I'm an idiot. Ow! Stage 6. I presume the whole saying this things that be avoided. Right? Stage 7. Full eyes for it this time. Ugh. Ow! Ow. There's another one. Okay, stage 8. Ow. Ow! Come on, going backwards. Oh, okay. Stage 9. He's going back. Ow. Oh. Oh! Huh? Stage 10? 1/3 of the way through the game. They're coming for me. Jeez. Get them all, I guess. these things. Are they going to kill me? Yes, yes it does. Back to stage 9. 1 life. I don't get the idea here. The idea is you die, you get sent back. Actually, die before stage 2 or whatever. Then you get returned. Then you can see it is game over. Anyway, I've been playing there for half an hour, so we'll move on to the next game. How do you unpause? Never mind. Okay, next game. No, it's not Emily Hughes International Soccer. We played that last time. The best football game ever. RAM Music Machine. Probably the best, most exciting music add-on available for any computer. Any. Okay, next game is Stormlord for Houston. You wonder why this game was popular. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Have you ever wondered what happened to all those fairies who used to live at the bottom of the garden when you were a kid, but who haven't shown their wings for ages? Did the Tooth Fairy join BUPA? Has the fairy godmother gone to spend her days at a rest home? Did they all hang up their wands as soon as we stopped believing in them to join the doll queue behind Father Christmas? No, they all packed their bags and floated off to Houston to take a starring role in Stormlord. The story behind Stormlord is as simple as the gameplay is difficult. These poor fairy folk have been kidnapped by some Fantasyland mobster queen, and Stormlord's job is to rescue them as quickly as possible. All that stands between him and completion of his mission are a few million tricks, traps, and beasties, more suited to Elm Street than Fairyland. The first thing Stormy must do is find the fairy, which isn't easy. All the little ladies who insist on remaining naked even when trapped by killer bees have been stashed away in bolt holes throughout each level, either behind locked doors or guarded by some creature. To get to them, Stormlord has to fight his way along a horizontally scrolling landscape, throwing magical thunderbolts and using special springboards to catapult him between sections. There you are, innocently standing on this plank when you're flying through the air with the greatest of ease, and not a trapeze in sight, you daring young man. The game starts with the fairy's friend trapped between an unfeasibly vast vase and a positively huge toadstool. After leaping upon the fungi, you make your way along until the path is blocked by a spore-spitting shrub. The first of these telltale signs you're playing a Chico game. Your little Stormlord has to time his passage to the split second, or he'll be pushing up the daisies after being splattered by one of their larger cousins. Negotiation of an obstacle usually allows Stormy to collect a magic item to help him on his search. Sometimes it's a key to open a cell door, other times it's an umbrella to keep off acid rain that kills on contact. You can only keep one item at any time, so it's worth taking a few minutes and losing a few lives to get to know which one to have in your pocket at what point. It's no use carrying a honey pot when you need a brolly, because it just won't work, matey. To rescue each fairy requires not only the right icons, but avoiding the traps, but also in typical Cybernoid fashion, a lot of monster blasting. Eggs fall from the sky and must be destroyed before they hatch and release a green jaw creature. And with real taste for Lord's bones. When others R-type refugees don't take kindly to, well, anything. First of all, though, is the endless stream of pink fluffy worms who leap on you lemming style. Stormlord gaming is made even more difficult by the tightness of the time limit. Should you survive to the end, however, your reward is a breather, by way of a sub-game. To win an extra life, Stormy must blow kisses at the fairies, who when hit fall in love with their saviour immediately. Then the fairies burst into tears, 10 of which have to be caught to stave off oblivion. One more time on the next level. The first thing that strikes you about the whole game is that it's truly stunning appearance. Stormlord's colours are bright and vividly used to evoke a land of mystery and magic, while the sprite designs merge demonic and comic to create a unique character for the game. The sterling work by Nick Jones is accompanied by a brilliant soundtrack courtesy of Dave Rogers, whose work we featured in AA44. For a change, these peripheral ideas have had as much care lavished on them as the game. Quality is apparent in every aspect of Stormlord. You won't have much opportunity to appreciate this while playing, though. Only do your reactions get a real workout, but the puzzles add greater depth that require the grey matter to be in gear as well. This is no beginner's game, but a challenge for veterans of many Cybernoid adventures. As Checo has developed a test, only the toughest, most committed will survive. Stormlord demands 100% concentration, 200% of the time, and that's during the easy bits. First day task will reach level 2. Check out history, or what's in a game. There's one word that describes all of Raphael Checo's work for the CPC, and that's class. He's been on the cutting edge of games development since his excellent work on Equinox, AA10, 83%. What's so special about his work, however, is not just the outrageously good graphics, but the intensity of the gameplay. Raph has developed a style of game where the boundaries of arcade and adventure overlap. Progress through a game relies on as heavily on brain power as that of firepower. The games demand you undergo a learning process to achieve success, but always accomplished by plenty of trigger pumping action to stop you getting blasé. In Exelon, AA22, 93%, the game was won by collecting gadgets to enhance your chances. In Cybernoids, AA32 and 39, 91 and 90%, there were more strap-ons, but this time more hazards to negotiate with split-second timing. Stormlord is no different, only the setting has changed. And it will no doubt delight the many Checo fans who have been resting up their trigger fingers in anticipation. Here's your previous game, Cybernoid and Cybernoid 2. Second opinion. Stormlord's appeal in no way comes from the gameplay. There are dozens of similar platform games around, but none of them match Stormlord in terms of depth, character, and complexity. This is not an instant game, but a classic challenge. Green screen. Loses some splendor. The verdict. Graphics, 96%. The best looking game so far this year. A perfect blend of humour and horror. Sonic's 84%. Imaginative and interesting score. Above average shoot 'em up sound effects. Grab factor 73%. 9 lives makes exploration easier, but not much. Staying power 85%. Levels are so tough, continue playing is a must just to complete each level. Maybe levels are too tough. AA rating 92%. Looks, sounds, and is brilliant. Okay. Let's get started. Type on the OBS window, that's stupid. Phew. Oh, you get boobies at the start with. That's wonderful. Boo boo. Bath in it. Okay. So there she is. You climb over her. Yes, one of these things. Yeah, that wasn't timed correctly, then was it? He's gonna go under it. Here's the key. You can't go over this way. There you go under it. I'll go jump over from here. These little fellas. Oh! They just all respawn again, huh? Oh! Okay, got one. Okay. Whee! Whee! So there's one fairy. And back we go! Oh! That's apparently deadly. Oh, we got probably keep moving then. Where does this one take us? Oh. Somewhere else we can die. Yeah! Where does this take us? Whee. Oh! Hey, disappearing blocks! That's wonderful. There's a fairy down there. That's what we wanted the honey pot for, huh? Oh, that still doesn't kill. Doesn't. What do we drop it somewhere? I don't know. We'll try again. Nope. Right. Jump! Yeah. Jump! Thank you. We have a charge shot. We can't really do nothing about this, huh? Yeah, they kill you. Eggs. Ah! Jeez. Wow. This game wants to kill you. Ow. This game just murders you. Yeah, this is definitely a lot harder than Cybernoid. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm not sure how you're supposed to... Especially how you're supposed to do this without getting hit once. I'm gonna do it and get through. I needed the key. I needed the key. Oh. Oh, of course that kills you too. Of course it does. Yeah, god damn it, really. Jeez. Out of time. There's a time limit too. One more go. Oh, damn it. Oh. Oh, I die again here. No, no. Ah! Do you have a quit button? We're just gonna die quickly enough, that's what we do. Try it again. Okay, here's what you do. That's how you do it. What? I thought this is the honey pot that you use with these bugs, bees, whatever. Apparently not. Okay, let's try this again. At least we remember. Key. Oh! Ah! Ha ha ha! There you go. That's how it works. You gotta drop it somewhere. There's no specific drop function. Oh! Really? Damn it, really? Oh, come on! Oh, jeez. Damn it! Jump point, ain't ya? Okay. Oh, God. Oh, shouldn't have done that. Is that do a trick? Wonderful. Out of time! Okay, one last go. One last go. We can finish, one stage or something. That was a mistake. Should just let them all fall down. Damn it. Oh! That's how you do that. This is probably perhaps the last place we should be going, really, shouldn't it? The time limit is almost up. Yeah, I can't get back anyway, so... But last go. Finish one stage. Clearly not quick enough. Oh, that again. This is where we came in, wasn't it? Oh, don't see me there. I ain't got time for this. Oh, she's here, right? How are you supposed to get through this without taking any... Oh, I need to... That's what I need the umbrella for. Those drops will kill you. We're not going to make it in time again, are we? Oh, that was not right timing. There we go. Oh, come on. Go, run. Too close to do the rest of the stage and not much time. Oh, I need the honey pot, you idiot. What am I doing? What a waste of time. Oh, that was even stupider. Expecting the exit right back where you start. No, can't do that. What am I doing? Game over. One more try. I want to do one stage. I don't know why. Let's do this first. We lose all our lives now. Damn it. Okay. Oh, these are hard to hit. Oh, what am I doing? Under the damn thing, not over. Really? Oh! No! Oh! God. Right, 3 lives left. Oh! 2 lives left. It's 4. Right, jump. Oh no. Last life. Out of time. God damn it. Really? Out of time. Uh, you can't just take your time, can you? Alright. We'll move on. Back to the magazine. Next game is Renegade 3 by Imagine. $9.95 cassette, $14.95 disc, joystick or keys. It's the last ever Renegade. The martial arts classic has entertained hundreds of thousands of people, and the quest climaxes with Renegade 3, the final chapter. There's little new in the storyline. You must yet again rescue your girlfriend from the clutches of evil kidnappers. Grievous bodily harm is not the terribly subtle method of persuasion employed by the Renegade. This time, though, the captors are travellers from the future. You must travel through various times and places, defeating minions left, right, and centre. It's a multi-load game, by the way. There's also a time limit to beat, which is very tough on newcomers. The game starts in the time when dinosaurs walked the earth. Two varieties here, big and little. Design is not the game's strong point. Neanderthals also lope around, brandishing clubs with which they're very eager to use if you get too close. There are ladders and platforms to climb on and crevices to avoid by jumping naturally. In each level are two areas, which cannot be walked through unless you defeat 12 opponents. They attack in two waves, so needless to say there's not much chance of coming out unscathed. After progressing to the final screen and dispatching any remaining monsters, you are whisked forward to the following era. Speaking of time, any spare amount left on the clock is translated into bonus points. Ancient Egypt is the next venue. Mummified birds and people are the main opposition here, with acid splashes and Anubis lookalikes adding some potent backup. Anubis is one of the Egyptian gods, and he certainly knows how to wield a walking stick to best effect. If you can defeat the end-of-level guardians, and by this stage it's no easy task, then the medieval world awaits you. Here, knights in shining armour chop at you with swords, and the occasional fire-breathing dragons are pretty hungry. I must admit that this was as far as I got. So exactly what comes next? The future? Or perhaps a nostalgic trip to Manhattan first? Graphically, the game is as pretty as its predecessors, with the thug himself punching and moving in a mean, magnificent mood. It's a pity that the nasties, while well drawn, just don't animate so well. This naff aspect gradually deteriorates as you progress. The scenario is silly and totally out of keeping with the previous Renegade games. But the main problem with Renegade 3, imagine if taken the urban beat-em-up and produced a storyline so out of this world that it's ordinary. Pardon, Ed? Gameplay is nearly the same as Target Renegade, except that there aren't so many different fighting moves. There's also no two-player option, which is really annoying, and the opponents never give you a chance. The combat is just not as amusing as the game's predecessors. To be fair, it's not that Renegade 3 is really awful. It's difficult but quite good. No, it's just that the previous two efforts are exceptionally amazing and have apparently proved beyond the capabilities of Imagine to improve on. First day target score, 10,000 points. Brothers in Arms. The strangest fact about the Renegade trilogy is that it was launched just when the fad for karate-style games was fading. The chance to take on street gangs, pick up extra weapons, and occasionally mug a granny, not that we condone that sort of thing, was just too attractive for most people to miss. Target Renegade was an improvement in some respects, in that the two-player option added a new dimension and made the game easier to play. The punch and kick variations were simplified, but if you got bored of them, you could always just attack your friend. Renegade 3 takes the cut-down features of both games. It adds vicious, difficult-to-beat opponents that somehow take the fun out of the game. It's a shameful way to end such a great game concept. Second opinion. I really like Target Renegade. I really hate Renegade 3. He's not as mobile, doesn't fight as well, and he's too fiddly to control. Nice music though. Green screen. Very good. Uh-oh, 6 enemies at once. 6 enemies at once. The verdict. Graphics 81%. Very colourful. Rippy animation sometimes. Sonic's 84%. Nice tune. Good jingles and effects too. Grab factor 52%. Far too difficult. Lacks variation. Staying power 70%. A lot of skill needed. Maybe too much. AA rating 73%. A good game, but not up to scratch. Oh boy. Okay. Alright. Renegade, the final chapter. Apparently there's robots in here somewhere too. The Graft, Andrew Deacon, Doodles, Owen Horn, Noise, Jonathan Dunn. Okay. Controls. High scores. Me! 120,000. Ugh. What are we getting? Let's go. Into the prehistoric zone. Climb up here. Jump. And dead, because... he's like a little caveman, look at him. Better stay up here. Oh, okay, climb back down now. We don't need any progress here, right? Ow, ow. Now we get to the 6, and it slows a bit. Ugh. I mean, it does look like these dinosaurs are wearing boxing gloves. Maybe it's just me. Ow. Dead. Time does not restart if you die. But to be fair, you don't use progress either, so. I got 6 more enemies! Ow. Ow. Oh, can't do nothing on the side of the screen apparently. Indeed. No? Where's he gone? Oh, here he is. Waste of time. Oh, where you going? Okay. Now we should be able to continue. Wow, I didn't make that jump. I'm gonna do that again, isn't it? Yep. Didn't even get 10,000. Try again. Yeah. Well, I can jump perfectly. Come back here. Where you going? Oh, he's left. Alright, do this again. Ow. Back down. Ouch! Ow! Yeah, those look cool. Up again. Okay, maybe not. Ow. 14 seconds left. 12, 11, 10. You're supposed to do this all in 5 minutes. Out of time. Game over. How are you supposed to do that in 5 minutes? 5 minutes time limit? A little more than that? Oh. Oh, okay. And enough of that already. On to the next. Next game is, oh boy, it's Navy Moves. A dynamic. 995 cassette, 1495 disc, joystick or keys. The waves are pounding your dinghy. The sea spray lashes your face. The cold is numbing, but you've got a job to do. An enemy super sub has been sighted off the coast and it must be either captured or destroyed. The mission is highly sensitive, so you go in alone, with no prospect of rescue if caught. Are you ready? You're born ready, as they say in the movies. Your first real problem is finding the sub. Now, as always in the world of cloak and dagger life, is never straightforward, and you have to negotiate a route strewn with mines. So many, in fact, it makes the Straits of Hormuz look like a secure sea lane. At a conservative estimate, there's at least one mine every 5 meters, which is a lot of explosive for a little water. Undaunted, you rev up the dinghy and speed off into the night. To get past the mines, you need to get your rubber raft to bounce off a wave into the air. Simple, apart from the fact that the next boat-boosting bomb is just over the dinghy left behind. You have to encourage your raft to skip between them, sometimes wrenching your joystick forward and backwards to leap grouped mines to fit into a very tight gap. Failure to achieve this nigh on impossible task results in an explosion which pitches your diver into the drink. Probably the safest place to be. As if by magic, though, you are whisked back to the beginning, very distressing, to try with another of your 8 lives. If this diver was so good, why can't he swim all the way and cut through the thankless task altogether? But I don't think they get you around the mines. The action is immensely intensive, highly reminiscent of the opening bridge section of Army Moves, AA-22, 58%, and every bit as infuriating. The style of the whole event, though, is great fun. The old sea dog gets blown out of the boat with truly balletic grace into the brilliantly drawn briny blue. He even manages a backflip before disappearing into the ocean with a splash. It may not succeed immediately, but who cares, you're too busy looking good. After a similar set of trials and tribulations to his landlocked army chum, the marine hero eventually reaches the safety of the enemy sub. Here things ease up a bit on the fatality front. Your jolly H.A.T.E is tooled up with a machine gun and flamethrower and is hunting for the 4 officers who control the submersible. Around he runs, using lifts and doors to move about the ship, always on the look for enemy soldiers who must be avoided or shot on sight. He runs, crouches to shoot, and lies on the floor to duck shots and hide. These guys have really bad eyesight. They just walk right over the top of them. In gun battles, your victims are hurled cinema-style backwards with the impact of bullets, or fall to the floor crispy at the edges if toasted with a flamethrower. When dead, they have the decency to hang around for a couple of seconds to allow a brief bit of looting for ammunition, first aid, or if it's an officer, code numbers. These are your primary objective, as they allow you to operate the sub's computer controls. Of course, if you torched your opponent, then there ain't much left to search. Bullets don't keep as well at gas Mark 9. The running around is astoundingly more survivable than the dinghy in Part 1. The sub is complex enough for you to spend many happy hours just blasting anyone unlucky enough to come your way and rummaging through his pockets for more supplies. The computer section means that once you've clicked the codes and feed them in with the correct commands, e.g. stop engines, the subsurfaces, and then, well, that would be telling. Dynamics have turned up another graphically sound game that is just too difficult to play. Games should have the difficulty sections later and not sooner, if the player, regardless of experience, is to enjoy it to the full, if only to give you an idea of what's going on. No doubt, those who eventually whipped Game Over 1 and 2 in army moves will relish the prospect of another such challenge. The rest of us who actually like to see more than 10 seconds of action before dying will have to wait for passwords to avoid Section 1. First day target score, 3,000 points. Second opinion, it's not quite as evil as army moves, but it's a close run thing. A tough game with great graphics, especially in Part 2. Green screen, visibility 0, Part 1. Visibility good, Part 2. It's simple. All I have to do is leap over these mines. Explode. The verdict, graphics 84%, dynamic action, realistic battling on a giant sub. Sonics 64%, great spot effects create atmosphere. Good tune, if rather short. Grab factor 32%, far too difficult in the opening stage. Impossible opener on a green screen. Staying power 71%. Part 2 has a whole new depth to the gaming. As if you can ever get to Part 2. AA rating 67%. Dynamic strike again with a great game, spoiled by overly difficult gameplay. Okay. Oops. Oh, let's try that stupidly hard first section, I guess. Shit, dude. Pause P. Oh, escape. Program Ignacio Agro. Graphics H.A.T.E. Music Fernando Cubedo. Copyright Dynamic 988. This is music, I guess? Let's go. Alright, here we go. Jump. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Place all these mines in the water. Oh, it's two at once. Oh god, there's three at once. Oh! Okay, at least it flags a checkpoint. I suppose it's something. Oh, this is stupid. But at least they thought to put checkpoints in there, I guess. I suppose it actually even got this far. didn't shoot for some reason. I'm not sure what. Your mission has failed. You lost your weapons. Try it again. Now watch this. We don't even get to the first checkpoint this time. Oh! See what I mean? You know what I mean? This is stupid. Oh! Nope. Jumped too early. There's that checkpoint again that we didn't reach. Checkpoint. Oh! I wasn't watching. I wasn't paying attention. Literally almost no room to move at all. How about we try part 2? I have to look up the code, I guess. Let's do that. Look up the code. 53723. No? 53723. No? You sure? 53723. That's what it says here. They say change it across regions. Something. Check somewhere else. This is a different code. 28750. Perfect. Why is there no music? Is there no music on part 2? Select. Pause and abort. Okay, let's go. Oh, out we come. It's a dude. Ah! Oh, he's left there. Found nothing. Yeah. This is a lot more playable than the first section, jeez. Likes to dive. Oh! Those officers. Oh. Oh no, it did. Where do we go from here? Oh, up here, I guess. I had a gun. Oh! How do I get down here, I wonder? Can we do a jump? We don't have a jump. Oh, he's got a flamethrower too, huh? I don't have any bullets left. Somehow I ran out. Oh. If I run out of ammo, how do I get more ammo? Oh. How do I get down? Can I steal your money, your ammo? Am I out of this too? I'm out of all ammo. The mission has failed. Yeah, I'll try it again. Start with 99 ammo. I thought I was picking up more ammo. Find more ammo here. Oh, that's right, you can just do... That's your duck. Avoid everything. We can't duck that. Damn it. Ooh. $5069. I'm running out of ammo again. I only get you 10 bullets? Ooh, it's lie here forever. Oh, he just flew through the floor. 7 bullets. Wow. I'm out of bullets again. So where do I go from here? Can't walk off ledges. They just walk right by. I didn't notice you're just lying here. Maybe they think you're dead. I don't get it. Where else do we go? Oh, we can enter the door. Into the... Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing. Here, 9. So how do we get out of this? How do I get out of this? Can't even quit out of it. I've got a manual that might tell me. Three pages. And it's in Spanish. No, it's not Spanish, it's French. Oh, this one's in English. Uh, yeah, if you don't have the code, what do you do? Can you quit out of it? Nope. That does not tell you. Does not tell you a damn thing. Yeah, you're stuck at that. Unless you got a code, you're done, I guess. No way out of it. We had one code and did nothing, so. Oh well, never mind. We've seen enough of the game anyway, I guess. We'll move on. Actually, that's probably it. I think we've got